Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Armchair Grump. I hope you are having a good day today. Unfortunately, I would have been on a little bit earlier, but I was having less than a good day today. Wasn't feeling well this morning, and then I had things to do after I started to feel better. So we're running a little bit late today. Actually, quite a bit late. Stupid phone. Really need to turn off notifications. My own notification of me going live. I apologize for that. So yeah, we're running for you guys on YouTube. It doesn't matter much, but it's quite late into not just the afternoon. It's nighttime. But we will be staying later. We'll be trying to do our normal, at least 8 hours or so. Even after yesterday's unfortunate happenstance of but reloading and there being no autosaves between like the 30 minutes that we played. I've still been really enjoying this, so far it's really good. There have been quite a few adjustments, even some quite a few minor things that I asked for. I can't remember all of them, but so far there's just noticeably quite a few. I'll probably go through them and even mention them again today. They did add something to try. It's kind of weird, but they added something to try and make it so that you don't accidentally, when you're trying to use your triangle for a heavy attack or your normal triangle attack, activate a EX gauge combo. You hold the L2 button, but I just don't know why they just didn't make activate instead of holding the L2 button. Just simply have the L2 button be the EX gauge combo instead of having triangle still be like. So basically what you do is you just hold down L2 the entire time you're fighting. You have to hold down another button the entire time you're fighting. Instead of simply making the L2 your EX combo activator. You just hold it down the entire time you're fighting, basically, so you don't accidentally activate it if you want to, use triangle attacks. Yeah. It still boggles my brain, but that's the way they did it. They did do something, but again, like, it boggles the brain. There's a whole bunch of other things. They made following a lot more detailed so far. I do like that. I'm getting used to it, though. They made it so that you could hide behind a lot of different cover, and they made it more I don't say intuitive, but they made it more. They just didn't make it so there was just very specific spots. You can find cover in a lot of different areas, unlike before, where if it didn't have a glowing thing there, then you couldn't technically, like, your guy Yagami wouldn't go into cover. So now you can go into cover if there's just a wall, basically. I'm finding that, like, if there's things like hip height, he won't, like, duck down yet, but maybe that's just stairs. I was next to a lot of stairs that had, like, wall coverage that hit hip height, so maybe that was just that segment. We'll keep figuring it out. There was other things. They added some sneaking segments. They added other stuff too, but then what am I trying to say? They added some more. There was something else. There's at least 2 more things that they actually covered of things I disliked. I mean, the combat feels more fluid. I'll probably end up remembering it eventually. So let's just go ahead and hop into it. One thing that I just kind of commonly mentioned was, like, I liked the fact that there was 2 areas to explore in Yakuza 0, and they've added a whole nother area, Yokohama 99, I think it's called. It looks like a small island. I think it's an island, but there's, like, a lot of highways and stuff going over it. So, yeah, that was just kind of not even really something I was really asking for, but it was just kind of a small comment. I'm like, they cover Kamurocho. I don't know how much, because I've only played Yakuza 0 so far, and Judgment. I've kind of seen some of the other games a little bit, but I haven't really played them, so I don't know if they do this very often. I don't know how much it's just a Kamurocho. So maybe there are a couple of, maybe there are other games in the series where they add other areas. So maybe it's just not always Kamurocho and stuff. So, but that was kind of out of nowhere. I didn't expect that. Something else that I wasn't really asking for, but they did. They added a third combat, the snake or the serpentine, and that's pretty cool so far. I like that one a lot. It's pretty funny. That's what I like about it, the comedy factor. He doesn't, because he doesn't, when he does his EX combos, he doesn't actually hit anybody. He like does like stops just short and they like pass out and stuff like that. He's scaring them, which is really funny. He dodges and stuff like that, like funnily. So I enjoy that quite a bit. It adds to the humor and gives his character, gives him a little bit more character. Just 1 second. First of all, my computer is doing something stupid. Probably eventually remember here. So far, wounds have not been introduced. So if that carries on, I will be very happy. But I don't know. Oh, the other thing they did. I think one of the things I remember now is they added in equipment. That was something I was asking. I actually asked for, and so they added in equipment. So that was one of the things, equipment, and there's one more thing I think. I can't remember positive. Maybe that was the last thing, or maybe there was one more thing, because there was something like all of a sudden I was like, hey, they did that and I didn't even expect it. But they've done a lot of different things, a lot of minor, like there was like there's a couple big things. I really don't like wounds, and there's some things that kind of bug me, like the slowness of the combat system, and wounds, and then the fact that triangle is used for two different things because you're constantly activating. So the only thing is here, let's check the options real quick. I know I'm probably talking quite a bit, but I just want to cover the things that they've done. It seems like they actually. It's weird that it feels like. Well, I guess when you get a lot of people playing your game, you hear what people dislike. And when you're playing it, maybe it is hard to see. Like, I understand, because like when I wrote papers for English and stuff, it's really hard, especially when you're reading your own work, to see where your grammar is the worst. Because in your head, usually, especially if you're writing the way you talk or something, like it's hard for you to see your mistakes a lot of times. Or something that isn't, if it's comfortable or usual for you, it might not be for everybody else. But they did try to cover a lot of things, and I appreciate that a lot. And they've already, in the first few minutes, I think at least hit 5 things. Vibration, camera control. It would be great if they just allowed us to change up our controls. Action assist. Configure action assist when on. Press only. Double normal difficulty or higher. Square during situations like battle to automatically perform certain actions. Okay. I guess that's for like people who just want to go through the story. Like I don't have a problem with that. I mean, these games are pretty good story games anyways, so it'd be weird if Dark Souls had a mode like that, because it does have environmental storytelling, but like no one just goes in to see quote unquote the story. I guess maybe some people do. It'd be like, if you're not there for the gameplay, like why aren't you playing Dark Souls? Sorry, I'm just Vibration, camera controls, game controls, observation mode, first person, camera movement speed, mini-map display, on mini-map orientation fixed, subtitles, blood level. Oh, I was hoping for like maximum. Headphone volume, controls, speaker. Font, brightness. Oh! Ah, damn it. Damn it! They let you change the button configuration for the mini games, Virtua Fighter 5, Sonic the Fighters, and Fighting Vipers, but they don't. Let's see. Can you change it for your own game? No. Why? Oh, wait. Adventure? Battle. Oh, wait. Hold up. Something's not right here, though. It says to hold L2. This is during battle. Evade, grab enemy, rush combo, finishing blow, guard, fighting stance. Reset camera. Fighting stance is also like a lock on, isn't it? So. We could change finishing blow, can't we? Let's change finishing blow to L2. And now, hopefully that means combo. Oh no, I bet you combos and finishing blows, since there's no option for combos, I really hope finishing blows are not tied to combos. Let's see. This reset camera is now triangle. I hate it's the same thing as like in Overwatch 2. The crouch button for what's her name? Mercy is also tied to the boost. Like if you want to fly towards a friendly, like you hit the button. I can't remember, left bumper. I think it's left bumper on mine, to fly towards a friendly if you're locked in on them or looking at them, and then you have to hold circle, the crouch button, to launch up. And if I misclick it, I'll end up crouching by accident, right? Or if I forget to do like the slam down basically button at the end, like when I'm floating down, if I forget to hit the X button or hit the circle button again to come down faster, I'll land in a crouched position and usually get myself killed because I'm crouched and moving slowly and I forget that I'm crouched. And there's no way to untie that. You would think intelligently. You would think Blizzard, because Blizzard's retarded, okay? Blizzard are retarded people. That you could either A, change, like it would have its own button, right? Like you could make it X, like you could have it like be hold X, or make it any button. Switch it to hold any button, okay? Because you can change your controller. You can actually configure your controller. But for some reason, it's tied to whatever button crouch is. But you would also think that making it the jump button, right? X is just jump. Why isn't it you don't just fly, or just make it hold X? It makes more sense if you hold X, because then if you float down to the ground, you're not crouched. Or why does it, when you hold circle, why are you automatically crouched when you float down to the ground? Blizzard are retarded. All of them. They're all retarded. The fact that they haven't fixed this, the fact that it's still going, the fact that you cannot untie the button on controllers. I don't know, maybe you can do it on PC, I don't know. They're retarded. So, let's see if this works. I hope it does. The fact that there is a way, I'll be honest, I didn't look that very hard. Maybe there was a way to do it in the other one. So I'm going to go ahead. That would be primarily my fault if there was another way to do it in the previous one. I'm just going to say that. So, yeah, if there was a configuration, I didn't see it. Battle. Still, yeah, finishing blows L2. So, let's go get into a fight and see how this works. Sorry, bud. Now, it does make sense to have L2 as, like, the camera readjustment, I guess. In this case, it's not really a readjustment. I guess in adventure mode. I didn't really use it that often. I just kind of used the right. I always just use the right stick. All right, there's fight. Fight, fight, fight. All right, come here. Hey, there's EX action. Nope, EX action is tied to. Is that right? EX action is tied to the. It's always tied to button configuration. Unless finishing blow is considered EX action. Boost. Let's try this out. Yep. Yeah. No. They're stupid. They're stupid. I'm sorry. Whatever they're. I'm sorry. Why are you stupid? Why? Why are they tied together? Why is your combo button... Why are they not two different buttons? Why can I not make them two different buttons? Why? Why? How stupid are you? I'm serious. You're really stupid. I would love if anyone watches this, please tell me if there is an actual logical explanation. Maybe there's some sort of coding thing that is beyond my head that you would have to have the finishing blows attached to the combo button. Other than the fact that they were just so lazy that they didn't want to program a different button. Or let me configure my own controller so that they were two different buttons. Like, maybe they think they ran out of buttons, but maybe I just, like, I'm fine with not having a camera reset button. I can just turn the stick. I don't need a camera reset. I can just turn the stick. I do it all the time. See, there. See, I don't need that. If I am looking this way, I can just manually turn the thing myself. See? See? Unless there is some sort of coding thing that somehow makes it impossible, which I cannot believe there is. Somebody, I am begging you in the comments, if you see this, tell me if you know. But otherwise, I gotta say that the game developers are just that stupid, or lazy. One of the two. They're incompetent, or incompetent, inept. Well, what is the word? Either you're, you know, they're not evil, but they're either doing it maliciously. You know, they're maliciously, like, they're just lazy, which is malicious, or, you know, they're incompetent. One of the two. Because now I have to hold down L2 the entire time while fighting in order to not execute an EX thing. Which is an extra, like, which then means I have to hold two. So if I want to block, I have to constantly use my finger to go back and forth, or I have to hold my controller weird, so I have my middle finger on the L2 button, the left trigger, and my left index finger on the left bumper, the L1 bumper, the L1. So either I have to go back and forth, which still means I might accidentally do it, because if I let go of the left trigger and hold the left bumper to block, and then I decide to try and do a heavy attack, it might trigger it. Like, this is my point. This is my point. All you had to do was give me an option. Like, why bind the two buttons together? I hate it when they do this. You are I can only hope they're not. It's not malicious. you know, via laziness or something. Like, I don't know why they're sitting there. They would be sitting in their office, like, wickedly, like, rubbing their hands together, going, we bound the buttons together. They can't change them. They're going to constantly be trying to use a finishing blow and executing a combo. And then we're going to, like, really fucking screw with their controls. Like... It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Simply unbinding the two buttons, unbinding finishing blows and EX combos. And, if you just simply unbound the two buttons, and, like, yeah, making me hold a button entirely through combat, and then if I accidentally let go of it, like I said, I have to hold it funny by using my middle finger, so that I like, otherwise I just don't want to, like, have to go constantly back and forth between holding it and then holding block. But I guess I'm just never going to hold block again. I'm just constantly going to have to dodge. But it still feels weird to constantly have to hold it. Is this a smoking area? So that's I thought they had to, even though they added something to stop you from accidentally executing it, I still think that's a wash. It's not even a wash. It's still in a negative. They don't get any positive. I'm not giving them a positive for that. I would still say that they haven't done anything, because they just made their system more clunky. Like, the fighting system otherwise is feeling better, but then they made it more clunky by forcing you to hold by holding buttons down during combat in order to not accidentally trigger something. Like, do you imagine any other fighting game that made you just continuously hold down a button so you don't accidentally trigger something? Like, seriously, think about that. Think if you're, like, playing Virtua Fighter, or playing, I don't know, anything. You know, Mortal Kombat, was it Beast Fighter? Is Beast Fighter? I'm trying to think the old game where the people used to turn into creatures. Instinct, was it called Instinct? Any of them, and they just made you hold down buttons, or hold down a button that you would that you would normally, like, I use this finger for blocking. Yeah, damn it. I'm just never going to be able to block again. Otherwise, I'm constantly going to have to hold the controller funny. Which really annoys the fuck out of me. And I'm just like, I know somebody's probably saying I'm complaining too much or annoyed at me, but, like, no, it's really fucking annoying. Because I was really on there, like I said, I was on a high horse saying I was really happy with a lot of their changes. Like, improvements, I should say. And then they, I guess, try to do something to improve it, but instead, all you had to do was unbind the buttons. Why, first of all, why are they bound together? I'll eventually tire myself out, but I could write a fucking thesis on in the ineptitude of game companies and video game design. Oh, dude! Dude! Kaido! Damn it, and I'm forgetting to do it now. Luckily, I didn't activate any EX gauge. But now I'm just forgetting to do it. Like, I just have to constantly hold down L2 now to remember. What is this? Alright, I think I'm done now. Like, the anger is starting... I try not to let my anger bind up, because that's the thing, is when I was younger, I used to not let my anger out in frustration, which I just kind of vent nowadays a lot. It helps me. Like, I'll talk to myself and vent. And I would just hold it in, and eventually I would explode like a volcano. Don't do that. Sorry that you guys gotta get it. I hope there's some people out there that kind of feel the frustration that it annoys the fuck out of them that they're constantly trying to like, you know, do the combo do combo moves and stuff, and then all of a sudden it wastes their finishing, you know, their EX gauge, and they wanted to save that. And the major point is other words, I think I think it's a good combat system, and it's a problem that you didn't have. You know, it's a problem you didn't have. It didn't feel like you had in the other games, and all of a sudden it feels like you have here. Maybe the condition to activate the button, or as simple as, like I said, I don't understand. Simply as simple as, you know, maybe as simple as first of all, you have three quick slots, correct? Why not simply allow me to use one of those quick slots? You know, just let me configure my. It's easily fixed by just let me configure my. Don't bind the buttons, and let me configure my own controller. It also could have simply been press and hold triangle. Every button can have more than one option. You also, yeah, there's a lot of ways we could fix this. You could have a wheel. You could have hold L2, and all of a sudden, if you hold one button, all the buttons on your control all of a sudden become a secondary option, a secondary usage. All your face buttons, like Greefall does this. If you hold L2, all of a sudden, the D-pad and all your face buttons on, you know, the triangle, circle, X, and square all become different things. You can slot in different abilities and stuff on all those buttons. So there's tons of options that they could have followed to have this work, and I don't know why they didn't. And I know someone's going to say this is going to probably mention this, but as soon as I say this isn't a racist thing, but I know Japanese companies tend to be different in their culture and how they produce video games a lot of times than Americans, and I think primarily it might be to the fact that they don't change. They don't tend to change as quickly or adapt. Once they're, you know, if they have a culture of doing things, they tend to stay that way, and they probably just don't want to change their controller. The game, they did make certain adaptations and stuff. They've been known to do that. Yes, I'm gonna say that. But like the controller, or like, you know, the certain, like, you know, every other, like their fate, like everything else is very similar. Like they have a certain way of presenting it, their menus and everything. That, or, you know, it could have been that. It could have been that, because like there's plenty of times like Square Enix has been known to do this. They change very, very slowly, at least in the past. You know, so certain companies do that. Konami is kind of that way. Their business, the way they do business is always the same way. You know, or like, you know, it's kind of thing. It's just a different culture and business and stuff. But it could have also just be something that they overlooked. So in my mind, I'm just trying to think of ways of why it was missed. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Ugh. Oh, sorry. Complained myself hoarse. Oh. Well, that's why I named myself what I am. All the men in my family have been nicknamed Grumpy. Instead of Grandpa Mac, they're all Grumpy Mac. That's what all grandkids call him. I'll eventually. He used to. Funny thing, Grandpa used to complain about the blacks, the Mexicans, and the football players. Dad complains about the football players and in work, and now I complain about video games. So. My dad used to always tell me the way my grandpa used to yell slurs at the television when Barry Sanders and the like wouldn't do very well for the Detroit Lions. I wasn't born yet when before he passed away, but it would have been funny to have been there to hear him yelling at the TV. Different generations, you know. They were a fearless bunch. So now, I'll be honest, it feels like I'm like the trigger to activate. It does feel like the trigger. Why didn't I grab him? Can I not grab? It feels like the triangle to do combos, but okay, I'm thinking like I played the previous game, I had everything unlocked, so I don't have everything unlocked now, so I don't have as many finishers, so I'll have to wait and see once I've unlocked like a bajillion finishers. Surprise back hug, that's an interesting one. I do not have, it's $35, I have $251, so. A story that begins with hugging a stranger from behind. This method of hugging could be applied elsewhere. That seems weird. Battle support. A foreign-made near-death belt. Kaito just rams right through him. Yo. Where am I going here? Oh, it's in this back alley. I should have cut back during that. Yeah, let's go back. Kaito is like this hulking Godzilla of a man. Just, stomping around Yokohama. Running over all the poor Japanese people. Does he never wear anything else, by the way? Well, I know Yagami wears nothing else, but he wears that bright orange shirt all the time. Why do I have a cigarette butt? It's weird. But jeez! Would it... kind of just funny. Bucket tissues. in the middle of the road. Another cigarette butt. Rusted electrical wire. This is actually pretty large. This is a lot larger than Kamurocho. I wonder if they expanded Kamurocho at all. Wait. I'm gonna be honest. Do we not go back to Kamurocho? Okay. Do we not go back to Kamurocho? Is Yokohama just... Are we just in Yokohama now? No, I don't think so. I think that would be weird. Maybe we are, though. No, I don't think so. Because then we would never see Genda Sensei and all them again, or we'd have to travel back and forth for every scene. No, my fault you're out of, you know. Work on them lungs. Work on that cardio. You got all them muscles. Work on that heart. I kind of like, actually... Yeah. Just to let you know, even though, like, I have harped on the confusion of mine and the stupidity of, the controller, the controller configuration. But so far, the rest of the changes are primarily good, and I like, and they really make things feel better. And the combat is feeling good so far. Now, if all of a sudden we unlock a whole bunch, if we unlock a whole bunch of EX combos, and they start triggering all the freaking time, because, like, you know, like every situation, the situations are popping up all the time, then that's going to be a problem. But yeah. Also, oh, the other thing too is voice syncing, like the lip syncing, and voice syncing. All of it looks good. Looks a lot better. Facial animations and everything look far less. Like a lot of this stuff looks a lot better. So everything in general, I would give that up a point up. But yeah, so I'm enjoying all that. So just to let you know, I've harped quite a bit on that on the other thing too, because it really confounds me, and it was a major. It took away from my enjoyment. It kept getting in my way. You know, like it was a stumbling stone for me, and I kept stepping on that stone because the combat's always, you know, there. And normally I enjoy it. Like the combat's pretty fun, like in Yakuza 0. So I kept stepping on that stone. So since it's always like it's a big major part of the game, it's gonna kind of be annoying. But we'll see how it plays out, I guess. But the fact that it just game developers. Let people configure their own controllers. Just let them. もうついていますぞ。ああ、今店の前。わかりました。では受付で雲の連れだと言ってください。了解。慣れたもんじゃねえか。あいつずっと満喫で引きこもりだったんだろ。俺らももううかうかしてらんないね。That was weird. I think it's funny that it keeps giving me Hyakuen.
さあさあ、こちらが先日お話しした八神氏と海藤さんです。
Oh, that looks delicious. That is a cool looking restaurant.
つくもさんからお噂はかねがね。私は奥田と申します。
What is that pin on his jacket?
理事長をしております。
Kuda? Seiryo High School Chairman.
なあ、星稜高校ってさっき店員
I'll have to listen to the game and find out. I think the chairman is kind of like the president. He's like the principal for. It might be different for Korea and Japan, but I think he's like a principal for multiple schools almost. We'll have to see how it works. I don't, because like in Korea they'll have like a vice principal in the school all the time, but a lot of times there'll be like a lot of times the vice principal or somebody will be taking care of things while the other people are just not there. Or he might be like in American standard, he might be what we would call an administrator. An administrator might he might so if there is like there'll be a middle school, a high school, and a kindergarten in a district. You know, like where I grew up, there was Schoolcraft, middle school, Schoolcraft Elementary, middle school, high school. So we had 3 schools for certain grades. You know, elementary went up to like first grade, or second grade. I don't know. It went up to like second grade or first grade. Then like third grade through sixth grade was middle school, and then high school was like, high school was like or 7th through 12th grade, or like they might have had like an upper middle school to like another building or something. But point being is like he oversees multiple buildings, or something like that. I don't know why I'm explaining that, but I'm explaining it to I'm trying to like think out myself like what the chairman is. But they might explain more to what he is, because he's not just a principal tends to just oversee one building, like the students in that one building.
店の人を怒らせといてそれをスマホで撮ってたんです。7、8人で取り囲みながら。あっちゃー。八神さんたちがそんなの見たら素通りできないよね。
Question is what kind of man is this chairman?
まとめて鉄拳指導してやったぜ。
鉄拳？いや、では私は聞かなかったことにした方が良さそうだ。
まあそう言うなよ理事長。腹割ってオープンに行こうや。海藤さんはもうちょいビジネスライクにしようか。奥田理事長、明日から早速調査に入りますが、改めて詳しい依頼内容を教えていただけますか。
ええ、もちろんです。
So it seems like he's the one calling in for the investigation.
本校も日頃いじめ問題に取り組んではいますが、それでも常に不安なんです。果たして十分に防止できているのか。そしてもしすでにいじめが芽吹いていたなら深刻化する前に摘み取るべきでしょう。つまり肝心なのは事前の予防です。
それで探偵に依頼を。
ええ。
Simplest thing, teach the kids to defend themselves. Like, simplest thing. Like it, I hate when they all think like we need to like. I watch this in a lot of like I'm watching a Korean cop show right now, and they're like, we will, through happiness and whatever, will eliminate crime, and it's like you're never gonna get rid of crime. You're not gonna get rid of bullying, and like even like a little bit of bullying. I'm not talking like them beating up your kid or something, but like a little bit of like being picked on and like stuff like that. Like if teaching your kid to deal with that, with someone doing stuff like that, it's good. It's like the chicken pox. It's better to get that little bit of sickness now and deal with it. Now, if people are like beating the shit out of your kid or something, yeah, you're gonna deal with it. That's what I'm saying. But also that's what if your kid's running into those physical things, teaching him like, getting him talking with him, help like teaching, even depending on the person, like not even depending on the personality, like you really like it'd be like a good parent to teach them to stand up for themselves physically. Like they need to fight back, because a lot of times the kids themselves have to handle it. Like I want to say like 50% of the time it can easily be handled between the kids, and then you have like, I don't know, I'm just kind of throwing out numbers, but then there's those like the other side of those times when there's more severe stuff. Now I'm talking about probably like American stuff. I don't know, like there's a lot of rural schools in America. Like there's a lot rural, that word, like less city, out in the countryside, not in the cities. Like Japan and Korea is very more city focused, where everyone's crammed together. It can be a bit different when everyone's kind of on top of each other. but those can be, I guess, can be more severe. But at the same time, the you still need to like teaching your kids to stand up for each other. I think it all starts at home anyways. A lot of families breaking down, parents not paying attention to their kids. The classic home environments, two-parent homes, mother fathers, stuff like that. But uh, and teachers not like trying to be good instructors and like talk with their students and like help them out and stuff like that. So a lot of times it seems like they always deal with it the wrong way. They always deal with it the wrong way. It just yeah. We'll see how they deal with it.
99課の看板が目に入ってきましてね。
I'm kind of interested to see how this guy the fact that he's calling them in, first of all, to like kind of investigate and see what's going on. It might be a good call because he's trying to see the scope of it, or like he might also kind of be like seeing where it's going on, because first of all, kids might not, a lot of times kids don't talk to you, especially like principals and teachers and stuff. So I'm interested in his approach, let's put it that way.
見たらすでにいじめの調査なども実績としてあった。これは運命かなと。
な大げさな。
けどうちが今までやってきた案件って大抵最初からいじめの加害者は誰か分かってるわけで、僕らはその証拠を揃えてきた。今回みたいにあるかどうかもわからないいじめを探すっていうのは初めてでさ。
故にここに集いし4人の探偵が必要なのですよ。
なんか作戦があんだな。
ええ、今回の証拠の収集には動画撮影が有効です。すでに小型の隠しカメラをかき集めてありますよ。それをいじめの起きそうな校内の死角に仕掛けていこうかと。まずは期間限定で2週間ほど撮影することにしましょう。
いじめを隠し撮りってことか。
ただもしその隠しカメラがうっかりバレたりしたら大問題になります。誰にも気づかれない場所へ巧妙に仕掛けなければなりません。そこがベテラン探偵の出番というわけで。
よく言うよ。
I'm interested how they're gonna punish and stuff, because I agree with punishment, but if you don't work with the students, especially the ones bullying, you don't work with them together, the ones that are being bullied and like the ones being bullied and the bully, it's just going to continue. If you just punish, like if you do like kind of punishment similar to like the way we do punish criminals. The reason we punish criminals the way we do is because they're adults and they should know by now. You know, you're in adult society. You've gone through your childhood stage. You've been taught. You've been given 18, 20 years, right, to grow up. And we've kind of held the stick. The stick has kind of been held back a little bit, right? I'm not saying it shouldn't be held back completely, but you know, like the full stick of the law has been kind of held back. A lot of times you get lesser punishments if you do something when you're younger, and I kind of agree with that. A lesser punishment, not like you should not be punished, but you know, because a lot of times you make mistakes just because of being younger. But they're gonna, like, I'm interested to see if they just kind of do like punish and deal with this kind of stuff like like other criminals, or if they, you know, I wonder if this will be kind of like a high school, like a drama like that I watch all the time, where they actually talk with the kids and like, you know, a lot of times there's fighting, they fist fight and they work it out, you know, they work it out with their fists and yelling at each other, and sometimes, you know, people that were enemies eventually become friends because they somewhat come to respect each other, you know, over the period of episode, like stuff like that. You know, it doesn't always happen. There's people that I dislike that I kind of come to respect later on in life. There's some people that I just kind of came to feel like meh. You know, like I disliked a lot when I was younger, but I just kind of came to be like, meh, you know, over time. Like it didn't really bug me as much as it did in the past. So it'll be. I wonder how it's gonna play out. I kind of want to see that. I kind of see what almost like Yagami, Judgment, J drama, J high school drama. That'd be kind of cool.
守衛さんや先生たちにも隠し撮りのことは内緒。この件は理事長と僕らしか知らないですよね。
ええ、知っている人間が多いほど秘密は漏れるものですから。それに八神さんはカムロ町でいくつも難事件を解決してきたと伺っています。この依頼を完璧に果たしていただける方だと。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
どんどんハードル上げられていくね、タボ。
では八神氏、何か理事長にお聞きしたいことがあればどうぞ。
お、いいね、ベテランの仕事ぶり。早速勉強させてもらわなきゃ。
なんかやりにくいな。まあでもそれじゃあ。理事長がわざわざ探偵を雇う理由聞かせてもらえません？
それはですから、深刻化する前にいじめを見つけたいからです。
先生方が目を光らせてるだけでは足りないと。
ええ、あいにくそれだけでは少し心配でしてね。彼らの申告だけでは信用しきれないというか。
奥田さんはさっき先生方の申告を信用しきれないってそんな風に言ってましたよね。
人のやることですから、見落としや勘違いでいじめに気づかないこともあるでしょ
う。もう少し含みのある感じに聞こえました。
そうでしたね。確かに。
何かあるんですか？
なんと言いますか。実はもう4年前になりますが、うちの高校で生徒が1人自殺をしています。自宅で首を吊って。
それはいじめが原因で？
いえ、第三者委員会を設置して調査をしました。いじめの事実は確認されてません。裁判所も同じ判断でした。
裁判所？
自殺した生徒の保護者から訴えられたんです。学校でいじめがあったんじゃないのかと。ネットには確かにそういう書き込みがあって、とはいえ他に客観的な証拠はなく、結局裁判所もうちに責任はないと言ってくれたんです。
実際に理事長の目から見ていじめはなかったんですか？
なかったと信じたいです。ただ正直そう言い切るには私と現場の距離は遠かったように思います。今本校に通っている生徒たちも私の目には問題ないように見えます。みんなまだ幼いものですよ。しかし例えば2月ほど前、教育実習に来てた学生が心を病んでしまったのか突然来なくなりました。
なんだそりゃ。生徒にいびられたってことか？
さあ、もしかしたらそうだったかもしれませんが、未だに彼のことは分からずじまいです。生徒らとなかなかうまくやっていると思ってたんですがね。その後ご家族の方で捜索願いを出したと聞いています。とにかくそういうわけで、皆さんにはどうか見えにくい学校の
Oh, that was one of the small things. Instead of it constantly ringing over and over like a phone, the bring bring when the blue lines come up and he's thinking in his head, it just does it once, which is kind of nice because if I'm reading the sentence or I'm thinking or something, the sound gets really annoying. So, I mean, they do tons of small stuff like that. So, I really do praise them for that. I mean, all these small things that bugged me, it seems like they almost heard my list and the game was already developed, but if for some reason the control, the binding of the controls, and your just ability to choose all your options, you can choose a lot of, you can make all the like I can change all the buttons on my controls quite a bit, but for some reason, you know, combo execute like EX gauge combos and finishing moves are tied together. So yeah, anyways, but the fact that the rest of your controller can be changed, I didn't even really think of that too. The rest of your controls can pretty much be changed up except for those two buttons. I just don't know why. But I appreciate the rest of your controls can be changed up. So I mean, you can do that. That is good. I don't know why forcing buttons. There should just be an option for press and hold. Like I should be able to change it to press and hold square or something, you know. But yeah. Anyways, that is the blue, the dinging sound when blue lines come up. It only does the dinging sound once instead of doing it over and over and over and over. So it's a small thing, but it's another positive. So I give it to him.
光を当てていただきたい。それが私の今回の依頼なんです。
さっきはなんとなくうやむやにしちゃったんですけど、今日街でオタクの生徒とやり合っちゃって、そのことはもう大丈夫ですかね。
ええ、その話はもう聞かなかったことにしますので。
No more question about our.
ただこれだけは言っとくぜ。同じ状況に出くわしたら、俺はまた連中を締めっからよ。遠慮する気はねえ。
相変わらずだね。八神探偵事務所。
I'm more worried about what's gonna happen if we like.
もし調べた結果、いじめがあったらどうするんです？
もちろん学校側で指導します。県にも報告しなければなりません。
The thing I was wondering was if we're investigating, I don't know if we're going undercover or not. Is there a chance they're going to recognize us or something? Like, how are we investigating? I assume we're not going undercover. Yagami's way too old. I mean, Sugihara, yeah. He might be able to pass off as a student if we dress him up, right? He looks pretty young. But
そうすると先生たちは仕事が増えちゃうよね。生徒に聞き取りしたりいろんな書類を書いたりさ。それが嫌で報告しないなんてこともあったりして。
well, they're stupid.
残念ながらあるでしょうね。ただでさえ仕事の多い教師たちが進んでいじめを見つけ出したいかといえば。
Well, they're lazy pieces of shit.
じゃあ。
Oh, there's a kid over there being beat the shit out of. I got too much work to do.
いじめ見つけたらボーナス出してやるってのはどうだ？進んで見つけたくなるぜ。
さすがにそういうのはまずいんじゃない？
いや、一案かもしれませんよ。まだ完璧ないじめへの対処法というのはどこにもないんですから。
The only problem with that is if there's no actual incidences, or rather than finding the real incidences and dealing with them, because they are very difficult to deal with, you know, kids being bullied and problems at home and stuff like that, they'll just make up incidences and stuff like that. You know, there's a same way the way cops tend to pad their stuff. You know, if you hit a broken taillight, or they just lie and say you're going 5 miles and over when you weren't. A lot of different things. So the incentive system tends not to work. Simply, or you know, two things: either requiring people to have a certain amount of cases, like they do police officers, saying you have to have so many interactions. Because what happens if there are, like, let's just say no one sped. Let's just say you had a date, no one sped, you didn't get any calls. Right, I know that's very rare, but or let's just say you need to get 15 interactions a day, and you only get 7. You really only get 7. You got 5 speeding tickets and you had 2 call-ins or something, and you dealt with them, especially if you're in a smaller town or something, but it still requires 15 interactions. Then it requires you to make up stuff. So stuff like that. Now the incentive system again, but then for you to get that money, there needs to be bullying. If bullying starts to come down, or like I said, because it's hard to deal with, they might just make up cases or make up stuff and not deal with the real stuff. So a lot of yeah. So again, I agree with him. There might not. Well, I think the right answer is always starting in the home. Trying to make sure parents are involved, trying to get the kids in healthy sport or healthy organization. When you find instances of bullying, working with those kids through it and stuff like that. But starting in the home is always, I think, that's probably the best way to start.
理事長も好きですかね、北京ダック。ん？
ええ、まあ。
よかった、俺も好きなんです。甘辛いソースとパリパリの鶏皮感っていうんですかね、控えめに言って最高です。
やがみし、遠慮は体に毒ですぞ。追加でオーダーしておくので、今は仕事の話に集中してくだされ。
おい、恥かかせんなよ、タボ。
Was a joke.
お話を伺っていろいろ分かりました。とりあえず仕事の話はこんなとこか。
そうですね。あとは実際に現場を見てみませんと。その時またお話を伺うかもしれません。
それはもちろん。
よし、じゃあもう食っていいな。
何今まで遠慮してたみたいに言ってんの？気にせず食べてたくせに。
そいつはどうだろうね。
よー兄さん、スイカだ。こっからが本番よ。厨房は温まってんだろうな。
ここそんなに安い店じゃないよな。
ご安心くだされ、やがみし。今夜はお二人の歓迎も兼ねてご馳走しますから。
マジで？あ、じゃあ俺も追加で。